retinoids are a family of powerful skincare ingredients. They're the gold standard when it comes to skincare ingredients that can help age our skin well. They also help with fading those dark spots, help fight acne, and of course reduce those fine lines and wrinkles on our skin. The three most popular retinoids are Adapalene, Retinol, and Tretinoin. Though they all belong to the same family called retinoids, they're not all equally strong. Their strength on our skin differs, and that's what this video is all about, the differences between these three powerful skincare ingredients. Now, these retinoids, based on when they were developed and how they would work on our skin, are divided into three generations. First generation, second, and third. Now, the second generation is not used in skincare, so we don't have to worry about it, so let's just ignore that. Now, the first generation of your retinoids, there are three of them inside the first generation. Those are Retinol, Retinal, and Tretinoin. Now, let me start with Retinol. Now, Retinol is the gentlest of all the retinoids across the first generation and the third generation, but it is also the least effective of all the retinoids. Now, retinol, when it's applied on our skin, it needs to be converted into retinoic acid for it to start working on our skin, because skin can't recognize retinol, it only recognizes retinoic acid. So for retinol to get converted into retinoic acid, it's not a straight process. There are two steps of conversion that happens on our skin when it's applied on our skin. So step 1, it gets converted into retinal. Step 2, it gets converted into retinoic acid, and then it starts working. So because of that two-step conversion process, it is actually the least effective one out of all the retinoids, and it is also the reason that it's actually the gentlest of all the retinoids. Now comes Tretinoin. Now, Tretinoin is also called retinoic acid, and that's actually the reason why it's the strongest of all retinoids, because when it's used on our skin, it doesn't need any conversion. It's going to work straight away because skin recognizes retinoic acid. So it's going to work immediately, and hence its efficiency on our skin is much more than the efficiency of all the other retinoids. Having said that, the irritation that it can cause to our skin is also the highest out of all the retinoids. Now comes Adapalene. Adapalene is the newest entrant in this retinoid family. It is the third generation retinoid. It is almost as powerful as Tretinoin, but it is much more gentler on our skin, than your Tretinoin. Adapalene, when applied on our skin, it's already active. It doesn't need any conversion process. It's going to work almost in a very similar way to your Tretinoin or your retinoic acid. Adapalene has been made in the lab in such a way that though it does work almost as effectively as a Tretinoin or retinoic acid, the irritation that it brings to the skin is much lower. Adapalene is super helpful, especially for acne, because another powerful ingredient for acne treating is your benzoyl peroxide. Now, all retinoids are helpful for acne, but the thing is, with all the other retinoids other than your Adapalene, when you use it in combination with benzoyl peroxide, it can actually cause a lot of irritation to our skin. Whereas for acne, you need both benzoyl peroxide and your retinoid. So Adapalene has no such irritation when it's used in combination with benzoyl peroxide. So that is another reason why it's so popular for fixing that acne problems. And another major positive with Adapalene is it's actually very stable when it's used in skincare ingredients. It's not going to break down easily when it's exposed to sunlight. Now, to buy a retinol product, you don't need a doctor's prescription. There are many off-the-shelf skincare products which have got retinol in them. For tretinoic acid or your Tretinoin, you do need a doctor's prescription in most countries. And for Adapalene, it comes in two concentrations, 0.1% and 0.3. For 0.1%, you don't need a doctor's prescription. You can just buy that off the shelf. For 0.3%, you do need a doctor's prescription. So as a general rule, retinol is something which is gentler on the skin, least effective, but still is a very good, well-aging skincare ingredient. So we would have to use a vitamin skincare ingredients, I would say, from the time you're 20 plus, regularly, at least 3 to 4 times a week, and start with your retinol. And then retinal, which I'm not talking much about in the video, but it's also very effective on the skin, much more effective than retinol, but it is going to be a bit irritating on the skin. And then finally, you've got your retinoic acid. That's a really strong, powerful, well-aging skincare ingredient. Get your skin used to all the others and then get to the retinoic acid or your tretinoin, because it's really good. This is something which can really do really amazing things for the well-aging of the skin, but you just can't jump straight there. And finally, you've got Adapalene, which is also very good at the well-aging of the skin, but it is very commonly, most popularly used for treating that acne, because it's got that extra acne benefits which all the other retinoids don't have. Start with retinol. Get your skin used to it. I know I've said that in the earlier part of the video, but it's so important and hence I'm repeating it. Get your skin used to retinol and then move to retinol and then move to retinoic acid or your tretinoin. Don't ever jump straight to tretinoin or retinoic acid. And this getting used to of the skin can take a few weeks, not a few days, never a few days, a few weeks or a few months actually, which is quite normal, a few months, or maybe even a couple of years. So just be patient with your skin. And even with retinol, there are different concentrations of retinols in the market. Now the highest concentration is usually around 1% retinol. Don't jump straight away to 1% retinol. Start with the lowest concentration one, which could be 0.025 or something like that. Start with that and gradually move up that retinol ladder and then get to the top concentration and then move to your other more stronger retinoids. You can of course straight away jump to Adapalene under a doctor's guidance if you've got severe acne, and that should only be done under the guidance of a doctor. The few things you can do to get your skin used to vitamin A derivatives: in that routine, make sure you don't use any exfoliating serums. Make sure you use a good gentle cleanser on your face. Make sure your face doesn't have any makeup or any residue, no dirt left on it. Use a gentle cleanser to cleanse your face. And then initially, as you're getting your skin used to a vitamin A skincare product, it could be retinol, retinol, any of them, maybe just apply it for a few minutes on your skin. Leave it on for a few minutes and then gently rinse it off and then apply a good moisturizer. If your skin is extra sensitive, and you can also use the sandwich method. In that method, after cleansing, you would apply a good moisturizer on your face, a light moisturizer, not a cream, thick cream or anything like that, and then top it off with your vitamin A product and then leave it on for some time and then top it off again with another moisturizer or the same moisturizer that you used earlier. Just make sure it's a good moisturizer. So you basically sandwiched it in between these two. But if your skin is okay and not super sensitive or anything like that, you can apply it straight after cleansing. In initial days, if you're really unsure, rinse it off with the water and then apply a moisturizer. But if you feel comfortable, leave it on for a few minutes and then apply a good moisturizer. No need to rinse it off. And then always use it only in the night time. And here's another important thing: next day, sunscreen is a must. Sunscreen is a must every day. But on a night that you've used a vitamin A product, sunscreen becomes doubly, triply, huge must. So these are a few things that you can do. How effective they are on our skin and how much irritation they can cause on our skin are the main basis for the differences between these retinoids. That's about it. I really hope you found this video useful. If you did, please give me a like and do subscribe to my channel. That would really help me a lot, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.